topic behind. Una, pinag-usapan natin your relationship with the former president,
Yes.
the ICC, and then tong kay Pastor Kibuloy, yung proceedings sa Senado bilang dating senador, sir. I'd like you to give us your insights about the hottest issue perhaps when it comes to our national territory.
Okay.
Yung sa ating West Philippine Sea. Daryl? Sir, itong issue kasi sa Benham Rice, I'm not sure if everyone is aware whether they are the same or they are not. Bilang naval officer, I know you know this, sir. So can you please educate our listeners and media friends here?
Okay. So, well, sir, just to inform everyone, yung Benham Rice, nasa East Coast yan, nasa Pacific.
Nasa kabila.
Nasa Pacific yan. Nagpapatrolya yung Navy dyan. I was fortunate to have that experience when I was still in the service. Papatrolya yung Navy dyan. Yan, uncontested yan. Di ba, sir? Kasi yung sinasabi nilang 9-dash line na dinidispute natin nasa West Coast naman. Nasa South China Sea. West Philippine Sea, no? So, dito, wala na silang alibay dito. Pero nung panahon, sir, ni Duterte, biruin yung nag-attempt silang gumawa ng agreement ng parang joint exploration dyan na nagkaroon lang ng intervention dahil lumabas publicly, talagang sinell out. Kasi wala namang silang na sir dyan eh. Wala nang claim kahit na
legitimate. Atin talaga.
Ngayon, I don't know kung anong but they can't come up unless si Duterte signed something, but dapat i-invoke ng China. At pwedeng i-abrogate ni President Marcos kung ano man ang agreement ni Duterte, if there is such an agreement.
So we are not sure whether there was an agreement.
Well, yes sir. Kailangan i-invoke sir ng China yon para i-abrogate yon.
Yes.
Kasi unilateral lang naman na decision sir yan eh. Pero kahit historical, wala talagang basis, talagang intrusion yan. Yes sir. Pero when I was still in the Navy, pag may nakikita kaming ganyan sir, hinuhuli namin. Pwede mo nang huliin yan. Wala na magagawa sir yung dyan.
Will this intrusion sa Benham Rice be considered as more alarming doon sa mga parang weekly stories of water cannons against our fishing vessels?
Magkapareha sir in terms of gravity. Kasi doon naman sir, talagang kiss-kissa na ron. It can kung maaksidente yung barko natin at lumubog at may mamatay, problemang malaki yan, na kailangan ma-resolve. Ito naman, talagang intrusion, maliwanag na. But it's up to the armed forces to do what it needs to do. Pwedeng damputin lahat yung mga yan, sir.
If you were the decision maker, sir, yung mga nangyayari ngayon sa water cannon incidents, itong pinaagrabe, meron nang na-injure na Philippine Navy personnel. Ano po ba sa tingin ninyo ang dapat gawin at ano sa tingin nyo ang mangyayari during the time of our President Bongbong Marcos?
Ang pwedeng gawin dyan, sir, kung ang objective is resupply mission, pwede natin, sir, ilapit-lapit yung ating mga supply ships na may heliborne capacity, sir. Hindi nila mawawater cannon yun. Mabilis lang yun, sir. Kunyari, idikit mo lang 10 nautical miles from Ayungin. Mga lang yan, 15 minutes lang na chopper ride.
If we deploy that, sir, there are people who are saying that baka we are already provoking because these are no longer Coast Guard vessels but Navy. Anong masasabi nyo dyan sa baka ma-provoke naman natin yung China?
Hindi necessarily mapoprovoke, sir. kasi malayo naman yan, sir. Tapos, ano yan eh, Navy, sir, yung resupply.
Yes.
Dapat, wala namang problema na hindi rin yung ano. At yung mga tinayo-tayo nilang dun, sir, hindi naman natin pinapakilaman yung resupply missions nila doon. Bakit nila pakilaman ito? Barko ito, sir eh. Barko. So, meron ngang replenishment at sea na exercise eh. Para lang magawa yon. We are not even doing that even if we have every right to do that na baka escalate, sir. Pero with this, mabilis lang. Within 15 minutes, mare-resupply nila yon. Tapos eventually, they can just put a helipad doon, sir, sa Sierra Madre. Wini-welding lang naman yan eh. Inaayos lang yan. Kayang gawin yun, sir. So they can do that.
So pag magkaroon ng helipad mismo doon sa BRP Sierra Madre, resupply mission by air na lang.
Yun, sir. Di wala nang binobomba.
Senator Sani, what do you think of the effectiveness of our, siguro naka-4 na yata tayo or 5 diplomatic protests? What do you think of the effectiveness of these kinds of official government activities against China?
Well, kahit hindi sa sir effective, we have to keep on doing it. Kasi the moment we stop doing it, sasabihin ng China, oh, may stop na kayo, hindi man kayo nagreklamo, parang tinanggap nyo na. Hindi, sir, we have to keep on doing it. But I agree, sir, hindi na siya effective kasi nagiging rogue state na itong China as regards the West Philippine Sea issues. Hindi siya hindi dinidisregard niya all international rules. Yeah.
And again, based on your analysis, Senator Sani, yung sinasabi na itong incursions ng China sa West Philippine Sea is a precursor to their eventual invasion of Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any credibility to that story or likelihood of that event?
Well, based on intelligence information, sir, at open sources, talagang imminent yung invasion of Taiwan at tinitignan dito by 2027, yun yung timeline nila. And because of that, they need to make sure na itong Pilipinas ay hindi magiging launching ground or maging forward operating base ng American forces. Yeah.
So the likelihood of an invasion is very high.
Yes, sir.
And what do you think should the Republic of the Philippines do, especially our government leaders, given that imminent invasion?
Well, kailangan makiramay tayo dito sa issue na ito. Yung Taiwan is a democracy. Yun, sir, tayo nung ginigipit tayo, sir, dito sa West Philippine Sea, humihingi tayo ng saklolo. And some nations responded. Yung EU, Japan, Australia, US. So, nagresponde sila. Pero when the time comes na itong Taiwan hihingi ng tulong, tayo, being the closest neighbor, we have to respond. Historically, ganun yung Pilipinas. Sa World War II, sa Vietnam, sa Korea, nagre-respond tayo. Hindi ito parang sasabihin ng iba na madadamay tayo, kailangan magsarili lang tayo. Pag ginawa mo yan, darating yung panahon, ikaw ang hihingi ng tulong, walang sasaklolo sa'yo. So, hindi dapat ganun. At itong US, meron silang mga tinatayong yung EDCA bases. Yan, ano yan, sir? They will be able to support any upsurge in military operations. Doon concerned yung China. They want it stopped. Pero wala na yun. That ship has sailed. Matatapos na yun, sir.
Maganda na sabi mo, Senator Sani, about the EDCA bases. And at the same time, maganda yung nasabi nyo, Senator Sani, na ang ating current president, kumbaga, not as friendly to China as compared to his predecessor. Some political analysts will always say, netong nangyayari na Marcos, Duterte, hidwaan, parang proxy war lang po ito ng US and China. Ano sa tingin niyo ron, sir?
I totally agree, sir. But coincidence din in essence kasi nangyari lang na itong si Duterte talagang pro-China. Ito naman si President Marcos hindi naman necessarily pro-US. Kaso doon na dadala dahil talagang very very aggressive naman yung ginagawa ng China doon sa West Philippine Sea. Paano tayo magiging kaalyado niyan? Kumbaga, China basically turned away si President Marcos away from them and towards the Western allies. Si Duterte lang kasi nung panahon niya, talagang hinayaan niyang binubuli yung mga forces natin to the point, sir, na nag-issue siya ng order early on during his term sa AFP, sa Navy in particular, na wag magpatrolya dun sa disputed waters.
That I remember yan, sir.
Oh, yeah. So yun, sir, he practically surrendered that. Sabi ko nga, when we were still in the service sa Navy, pag may nakita kaming pumasok sa EEZ, kuhuliin talaga yan, dadalhin talaga sa port, no? Ngayon, nung panahon niya, hininto yon, walang nanguhuli, sir. Kaya doon mo makita. And akala nung China, they can keep on doing that kay President Marcos. Pero apparently not.
Pero is it too late, sir, to reverse that policy na lumalabas na, sige, pababayaan na lang namin kayo. And then, if our leader will now say, hindi, we will no longer honor that accommodation, huhuli na lang namin kayo. Do we still have that, number one, that audacity, number two, that capability, and then number three, that responsibility to protect our territory?
Okay. Doon sa capability, sir, baka wala na. Doon sa West Philippine Sea part. Pero yung dito sa may norte, yan, Benham Rise, Scarborough area, pwede. Kaso nga lang, magkakaroon, sir, ng standoff. So, yun naman ang iniiwasan. But, it doesn't mean na pababayaan mo na lang sila. So, yung ginagawa ngayon, sir, ng Coast Guard, ng constant silang, vigilant sila, nakikita nila, yan yung tinatawag na maritime domain awareness. Alam nila yung nangyayari sa teritoryo natin, sir. At hindi nila hinahayaan lang yung China. So, that is good enough. Pero yung ibang areas, pwede mo huliin. Hindi parang takot na takot, sir, eh. Yung mga hinuhuli namin nung late 90s, dyan sa area na yan, mga Chinese ships naman, wala namang gaanong malaking issue. Although there was one time, ako, sir, nag-file sila ng diplomatic protest and I was named kasi I was one of the boarding officers, sir. But still, it didn't stop us from doing our job.
Yung Chinese vessel na hinuli nyo, sir, nung nasa Navy kayo,
yeah.
I suppose fishing vessel ng China?
Meron yung cover, may mga fishing vessels, pero ito cover ito, eh. We believe it was a surveillance ship na disguised as a fishing vessel. Kasi sophisticated yung radio equipment. So, binoard namin, and because of that, prinotesta ako na.
Pero ano nangyari, sir, doon sa barko at saka doon sa mga tao doon sa loob ng barko ng Chinese vessel?
Well, they were unharmed. At but yun, sir, nakita nila na nag-enforcer yung Pilipinas. So eventually, nagreklamo sila, sir, na binunggo daw sila o kung ano man.
So they were temporarily detained. Tapos, pinalaya nyo rin using the same boat just to show them that, you violated our territory.
Yun, sir. Tapos, we made sure, palabas, sir, sila. So, makikita mo naman sa radar yun, sir, eh. So, lumaya, sir, sila. So, that's what we should do. At least doon sa mga areas na hindi ganong disputed as yung sa mga... Oo, doon, sir.
Yes. So,
Nagustuhan niyo ba ang ganitong pagtalakay? Mag-follow sa Informador FB page at mag-subscribe sa Informador YouTube channel. Ang Informador ay nilikha ng mga staff ni Atty. Ricky Tumuturgo, aka Insurrecto, upang lalong lumawak ang inaabot ng pagpapalaganap ng katotohanan at labanan ang fake news at kasinungalingan.